Hi there, it's Brian Sebastian, Movie Reviews and More, Worldwide TV Network, IT 247 out of Tennessee. I almost forgot the outlet for a minute there. Women on TV.tv, Pandora, Spotify, iHeartRadio, everything around the world. And this is the special show. Obviously, everybody's zooming around the world, so we understand technology problems, don't we? They're here to stay. Don't worry about it. If you can't get on, you will eventually get on to do things. So we have to start with women first. Who are you? Where'd you come from? And why are you here on Movie Reviews and More?
Hi, Brian. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Chanel Omari, and I am the host and co-executive producer of a new amazing virtual platform called FanRoom Live. We celebrities get to meet, their fans one-on-one, especially, throughout COVID. People can't go backstage anymore. They can't go to live events anymore. So I've been, honored to be part of this platform with, I know you're going to talk to Jeff Krauss soon, and Jae Benjamin, as well as Cedric the Entertainer and Mitch Faulkner. And I also have a podcast on iHeartRadio called Chanel in the City. The way we all got together was Jeff knew my work and believed in me as a woman, which I think is so important to talk about amongst the industry now where it's heading. I think it's important when men support women and believe in them and make sure that they're having the same equal opportunity, equal pay, equal, opinion now. And that's kind of what Jeff, Mitch, and Cedric did with me. And with Jay, they took a chance. I'm a comedian as well. So that helped. I think it helped.
And I'm a woman, so it helped for me. So it was perfect.
Right. And he's a woman and I'm a man. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, so I'm grateful. That's a little bit about me, why I'm here.
Jeff, go ahead.
So my name is Jeff Krauss. I'm the co-creator of FanRoom Live. We created it with Cedric the Entertainer and Mitch Faulkner, my partners. And then we brought on Jay and Chanel together, to really build this thing out. And as Chanel had mentioned, basically our whole thing is about bringing fans and their heroes, celebrities, influencers, artists together in one room to be able to interact with each other and have a great experience. It's kind of like a town hall style meet and greet party, so to speak. All the fans get to, ask a question, meet their favorite celebrity one-on-one. And, sometimes we also have different perks, like they could buy a backstage pass, or they get to have a little bit of a, private one-on-one after the party, so to speak. And they get little perks like, a copy of the recording, a selfie, little things like that when they do the backstage. But, the main event is the meet and greet, and that's where, the fun really happens. And it's a great time. People love it. We've had some great celebrity guests, such as, George Lopez and D.L. Hughley, Brand Doherty, Holland Roden. We've had Jake the Snake Roberts, which he's actually coming back on Tuesday, February 9th. We have Morgan Fairchild coming up on February 21st. And this weekend, we have a Karate Kid Kobokai reunion with Sean Kanan and Vidal and some of the cast members. So that's just a little bit about me. And now, Jay, take it away.
They call me Jay, but I'm really Bruce Wayne. Most of you know me as Batman. And I hang on building tops at nighttime. And I swoop down to rescue the people and entertain them in Gotham. Jae Benjamin, super clown, comedian, actor, producer, executive co-producer with everybody else on FanRoom Live, which is an honor, with Chanel and Cedric and Jeff and Mitch. It's a wonderful, fantastic show and platform, which I'm honored to be a part of and be on and work with the best of the best in the business and have that collaboration with others who then come on the show to cater to their fans and be part of those moments, which are really quite beautiful and engaging. There's a lot of stuff that happens when civilians, so to speak, get to have that one-on-one interaction with someone that they're like, oh, that starstruck, idolized, pedestal moment of meeting that person. And there's just this cool thing that tends to happen. We've had amazing moments where, you know, we've laughed our rear ends off, and some of us have been in tears from the amazing things that happen. So that's it in a nutshell with that. That's who I am. Again, you know, I'm just me and one of the co-host and a co-executive producer on the show, and been just doing my thing in the industry for a long time. Have a new movie coming out called Subway. We've been working on for many years, and that's super exciting. So this is where we are, and now we're here with you.
See, I love this. So I got to go back to Chanel first, because it's all about gender empowerment, women empowerment, which is why the lone black guy, male, ended up on Worldwide TV Network and Women on TV back in 2016. I said no first, but I always knew we're in the age of Aquarius. It's always about women. We need to help women, which is why I have 13 co-hosts. Guess what? All women. So I know about the hair, the eyes, and makeup and all this stuff. I get a lot of these products sent to us. Guess who I give it to? The women, because I can't wear it unless I go in drag, and I don't do that. And then when it comes down to junkets and things like that, I've been taking my friends, fans, I would always say, who do you like? Oh, I want to meet Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm like, why? Because I'm in the world of fitness. So I like his last movie. I would bring that celebrity, I would bring that just journalist, nobody, bringing him, sitting them next to me, pretending they were journalists in the one-on-one situations, and they got a chance to listen in. And the reason I did that was because a lot of them suffering from depression and anxiety, and I'm talking about going back to 92, 93. I wanted to take them out of their head, take them out of the world, and then bring them in something that would inspire them, someone that they can hear from the horse's house, that they would never get that opportunity. And I see you guys creating that, and I think that's why I like that platform from that. And Jay, I love your hair. I love what you're wearing. And we got to talk about your movie Subway after you guys answer this stuff. So everything is connected from that, because I remember I like bringing those things together, whether it's Qingdao beer, the most famous beer outside the US in 2015, bringing the Chinese over to the Hollywood Film Festival and having them be connected to the first film festival. I love what you guys are doing. I don't even know what it is. I just know the platform, it's great, because I did it on my little own, just bringing someone in, exposing them to someone that they would never, ever have a chance to meet one-on-one in a small little room. Jay, take it from there on the outlet of that. I think it's great what you guys are doing.
Everything you said is spot on. Again, it's an amazing opportunity. It's an amazing platform. It's a genius idea that Jeff and Mitch and Cedric put this together. And again, it's a very intimate, personal thing. Like, you're coming into our home, we're going into yours, we're going into theirs. They're coming into, everybody is coming in to each other's private spaces, you know, to the point where even when we do things like what we're doing now, we're all so weary of, how's the lighting? Is the stuff behind me look cool enough and it doesn't mess me up, or the show up? Or we get so engaged with this that this now really is as tangible as almost if you were sitting right next to me right here and no one knew it and you were on a different computer. No one would know. But the point is, it's that grip, it's that tangibility that this show and this opportunity provides people. You really get one-on-one opportunities to speak to people that there are things you can say and ask that normally you wouldn't be able to do it. Like, you walk into a green room, usually there's a ton of people in there. So naturally fans get even more intimidated and nervous. So they won't get their words out the way that they want to do it. And now in this situation, even though they still get nervous, they're in their own environment with their own things in their own surrounding. So it kind of brings a calming a little bit into the nervousness. But then there's a way to ask questions where people aren't surrounded. You're not in a green room like backstage at a rock concert where there's a million people trying to get in to meet someone, or on a movie set and you have an aside with someone. Those types of questions are different, as opposed to the way you get this intimacy through this vehicle of FanRoom Live. That is the genius of it. And that's what's growing. And that's where people are really starting to understand. And at least that's what we keep speaking about, because it's happening to us. This isn't something we expected to happen when we all got together and Jeff called everybody, Chanel, Jay, we want you to do this, blah, blah, blah. Here's what it is. This evolved into what we're speaking about. And it keeps snowballing and evolving further into this amazing vehicle where even if there is an after COVID and people really you know, in a year or whatever, can get back to fully going out, this will stay because of the intimacy, because of the personal connection that you are getting indirectly with this platform. If that, any of that makes sense.
No, it does make sense. Chanel, this is a great platform. I was having Sinbad on months before he had his stroke. And I kept telling him Sinbad because he's a technology nerd. People don't realize it. We never talked about his comedy or his acting. It was about technology. I love stuff that's environmentally friendly, sustainable. And he loved the shows because it wasn't about him. And he was such a nerd geek. Like that's what he loved, stuff like that. Mary Kenny's been on, who was the new Winona on Shameless. And it's fun to have them on because they're used to being in the world, but they weren't used to having their own podcasts and things. Everybody's got one now. And I tell everybody, can everybody do it? Yes. Can everybody really do it and put in the work and get sponsors? No, it's not that easy. And that's what they don't get.
It's like singing in the shower, Brian.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't.
What'd you say, Jay?
I said it's like singing in the shower. You can sing in the shower, but it doesn't mean you can go. It doesn't mean you can go on stage or you're going to go to America's Got Talent or American Idol and become the next, you know, Kelly Clarkson or whomever. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, you know, Brian. On that note, I wanted to say.
That's
so
why I brought
the reason why I. What?
Go ahead, Chanel. Go ahead. Sorry.
No. I was gonna say I think you were heading. You can finish, but I think what you were heading. Why I got involved in the platform is because it is bigger than me. And in general with podcasts, not everybody can make a successful podcast. It takes a lot of hard work and a lot of drive, a lot of money, a lot of consistent hardship. Same thing with FanRoom Live. Anybody who's an entrepreneur who gets together and gets involved in something, it's less about the money and more about the connection. And I think as an actress myself, as a comedian, as a producer, you know, same thing with Jay, and I'm sure he could speak for himself, but like we came to FanRoom Live with Jeff. We thought that I could add the value in my situation as a host and a moderator and kind of bringing the talent together on this platform, making them feel safe, making them feel like they can still talk to their fans, making us as hosts and producers feel like there's still security of a job, because that's where COVID is heading. You know, I mean, with COVID, the industry is changing and constantly, and we have to come up with new ways beyond even social media, like this whole Zoom situation with podcasting, with FanRoom Live. That's something that's bringing people together, I think, in a more intimate fashion. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I got involved.
Jeff, as I always tell people, I started telling people October 3rd of 2018, this is going to be around for another 4 years. Then I was saying this was going to be around for 5 years. So we've almost had a year go by. Telecommunications, cleaning service, anything that's environmentally friendly, sustainable, this is the way to go. Animation, AI technology, voiceovers, put that all together. This is stuff what you guys have created. Good for you. Take it from there, Jeff, and why it's going to work.
Well, I think one of the reasons why it's going to work is because, you know, you have a situation here where even talent that will go to, say, a Comic-Con, or they will do a concert and they do a little meet and greet beforehand. Even those situations, you're not going to be able to have fans from around the world be able to meet you the way you can on FanRoom Live. So I'll give you just one perfect example. In fact, I'll give you two examples. Jake the Snake Roberts, when he did his first FanRoom, when he first logged in, he realized that, and mind you, he couldn't travel at the time. There was a paraplegic that he visits since the 80s that had, you know, gotten a ticket for FanRoom. So now he was able to hang out with her and communicate with her. Whereas he couldn't, because he couldn't fly to her. There's no conventions, there's no wrestling other than in Florida, and she doesn't live in Florida. So he has not been able to visit her for a while now. And that's just one. And it was a very interesting, special, and powerful moment, because he was so happy to see her once he noticed that she was in the room.
He lit up and she lit up. They both lit up. It was so,
Yeah.
it was so beautiful, Brian. It was like, oh my God, like your heart just went, oh, wow. Like it was like that.
Yeah, they really did. And just another example, we had both Grant Doherty and we've had Holland Roden, and they do Comic-Cons because they were on very successful TV shows and movies. And the one thing that we noticed is that the fans that were logging in were from all different countries. So if, say, for example, Grant Doherty is doing Comic-Con in New York, the chances of his fans from Australia being able to fly in just for Comic-Con in New York is very slim.
Yep.
They would have to wait until Comic-Con comes to Australia. Now, they don't have to wait. They can meet him or whoever the celebrity is face to face right here on FanRoom Live.
And way different than Cameo. It's not like a pre-recorded message or a sidebar thing. This is like a real, it's almost like we're introducing you to the celebrity of choice that you want to meet. And there's a real opportunity for anything and everything to happen in that given moment. You could get discovered. You could be asked 1,000 things. Maybe they start following you on social media and befriend you that way. And then they dig what you do. There's such an entry point. It's like we've opened up a back door that was never opened, that usually is so closed and so hard to get into because of how hard our industry is and how tough the business is and how much we need to protect ourselves 100% because of where we are and the industry and the kind of the attention we get from all walks of life all over the world in every which vehicle possible. That is what goes on. It's really quite. It is the only thing. FanRoom is doing something none of the other platforms are doing. It's providing something that none of the other platforms can provide. Yes, there are similarities, but there's nothing like it. And I'm saying it again from somebody who, at first, when the idea was brought to me and I was asked to do it, I didn't really understand it. And it didn't register with me how this was going to work and what was going to happen. And now all these amazing friendships have built. And again, these very intimate and powerful moments that you walk away from your life and you go, wow, it has done and become bigger than all of us, literally.
And we know the things about that I like is, I remember Jake the Snake. I was a wrestling fan. I grew up in Connecticut. So all those people were fans. His movie was great. So I was there doing that press. So everybody that you mentioned, I'm used to doing one-on-ones at the Four Seasons in Beverly Hills or the Beverly Hilton in a small room. Chanel, you may know what this is like. Jeff, you may know what this is like. That's what I'm used to. As soon as I park my car, hello, Mr. Sebastian, and I go to my room for TV, radio, and or print. That's what I'm used to. This is the best way to do it now because you cannot go back. We're not going back to Comic-Con until 22. It's just not going to happen. And even if we do, it's going to be slimmed down. So even when we would do our, say, I wanted to meet you in the backstage after you came off the stage, which Sinbad used to do. For example, what he did, he went to Arizona to do a show in Phoenix. I go, really? He goes, yeah, they took it up. He went down and he's used to meeting his fans afterwards. He drove down there, couldn't meet his fans because of COVID. He goes, Brian, I was freaked out because none of them had their mask on. He got back in his car and drove back to Los Angeles. And because I was talking to him on the way, he was freaked out. So what you guys have created, this is the best platform to be out there. Cameos doesn't even come close to what but besides, I said no to them. You guys, I would say yes, because I like you guys, but I understand the platform. It's just like I would take one of my friends to a junket and they would be sitting there in awe because first of all, they would never get the opportunity to be in the same room, never mind sit next to them, because I always sat next to talent. So maybe that's why I get it, because that's what it reminds me of. And we don't even know when we're going to go back and have one-on-ones. I've been talking to George Clooney and Stan Rosenfeld, his PR person. He goes, Brian, my clients aren't going anywhere. I don't know when I'll get a chance to talk to Morgan Freeman again or Robert De Niro, because you can't, they're of age. This is the best format to be out there.
Oh yeah. I also think it's important to know, like we had DL Hughley on And a lot of the fans loved that he was able to share his new book
Young
out.
man
With
was
what,
being in Tennessee when he got sick. He understands.
Yes.
Wait, he dropped on stage. He was like bricked.
And a
Boom.
lot of people felt like they could relate to him on FanRoom Live because there was this intimate setting where he was sharing his experience of COVID and his family. And he was also sharing how he felt the media portrayed it and all, and what's going on with the protests. And so a lot of times it's not only just about meeting your favorite celebrity one-on-one and getting that aspiration or inspiration, but it's also learning and getting educated on what's going on and the celebrities' opinions of what's going on. It also gives a platform for comedians now. Like there's a lot of, there are no stages, there are no theaters, there's no performances. So it gives a platform for a lot of comedians as well to, showcase their work. One of the reasons why Cedric the Entertainer, got involved is because he probably wanted a lot of the talent and cultivate them on this platform to give them a chance to host and to be meeting their fans, as well as charity. By the way, we give back a lot to charity. We believe in, donating some of the proceeds when we sell the tickets towards the celebrity's favorite charity, which I think is one step towards changing the world, like really changing the world, and not just saying that we want to help people around the world, if that makes sense.
And something Chanel that you forgot to mention is that we've opened an avenue for people's pets to meet their favorite celebrity and their pets. So all the celebrity pets, like Brant, we were talking about Brant, right? First of all, you're talking about DL, right. Brant, my dog, who he's upstairs chilling. DL comes on, he's got 3 dogs all over the place. Everybody loves them. We're meeting the dogs. Brant's on the show. The dog's sleeping on him for the show. Then his new wife, Kim, comes in and she brings the other dog. So now the dogs are in, and then the fans are introducing their pets to the celebrity pets. So it's like hilarious.
It's all in real time. Yeah, that's what's so great about it.
It's super fun,
And a lot of times, Jay and I will pop in and out, which is super fun because there are, let's say, we can't control it. It is real time. So it's like you're watching a real event, and we produce it as best as we can. But we also allow the fans to see the reality of all of us, and that the reality is we're all human and things happen. So it is interesting, like when we pop in and kind of mediate the situation, make fun of it a little bit, so they get entertained not only by the celebrity but by the co-hosts and the whole FanRoom Live staff. I think that's very important.
It's a real show. It's like if you were to go
real show.
If you were to go see,
it's a real show, guys.
It's a show, if you were to go see Kimmel.
Here's what's always.
That's how Jay imitates my mom. Jay, do it for Brian.
It's really my grandmother who just happens.
Or his grandmother, like a Jewish mother.
Chanel, why can't you find a good man to take you? You gotta have the babies. I mean, you're not getting younger, Chanel. Like, oh my God, what are you waiting for? You're a Long Island girl, not married, no kids, oy vey in Hollywood. You're gonna get killed. It's terrible.
Hey, I hear a little bit of dice in there too. No, anytime we all are dog lovers on Movie Reviews and More. Anytime any of the celebrities brought their dogs on, their dogs took over the spotlight for them. I remember Jack Lemmon coming in for the last Odd Couple, and his dog took my cookies off the table. He goes, I go, yes, you could have it. He goes, do you mind if I have that? And before I said yes, it was in the dog's mouth. Never forgot that.
You know what I'm thinking now, Jeff and Jay and Brian? This is a great idea to have like those like a Paris Hilton celebrity dog, like meet your favorite celebrity dog. So that's another cool thing we come up with, like cool ideas.
Petco will get involved, or PetSmart.
Right, like we come up
to jump in. And there you go, because we have all the celebrity dogs. It's okay.
That's what's so cool about this whole thing, Brian. I'm trying to imitate his grandmother, but I'm just doing my mother.
It's funnier.
I'm just doing my Jewish mother.
I knew what it was. I was on board with you guys. I didn't even know who you guys were. I just said, this is a great, what is this? This is smart. When I saw Jake the Snake Robertson, I'm a martial artist. If you guys know Billy Blanks, he was my sensei when he taught me.
Yeah, Billy.
1980.
I think he used to have his time. What was it?
I knew about the
video. Was that Billy Blank, the Tybo video?
Yeah, before he
I think I still have every one of those VHS tapes.
And you know what's funny, Brian? Jeff, you should talk on this, because Jeff and I would have a lot of conversations as well with Jay, with the whole team, how people didn't really believe in us at first. And this is what I want the audience to understand. Like, no matter what, you should do what you want to do, because all of us, including Cedric, have been in positions where we got rejected in the industry and people have told us no, and people said, that's not going to work. And you need this and you need that. And a lot of times people are projecting their negative insecurities on you, but it's hard for us to push out the noise. And I thought it was interesting, like Jeff never gave up, as much as, we all believe on the platform, but he really was always, pushing, and we all come up with great ideas, and he's always open. And so is Cedric and Mitch. They're open for me and Jay to come up with better ideas or cool ideas with some influencers. Sometimes it's a reality show or star giveaway. Sometimes it's a comedian that's up and coming. A lot of times Jay and I, we work with a lot of comedians. We go on a lot of podcasts. They come on my podcast. So we try to showcase also for up and coming talent. I just think that's a great avenue that no one really understands. And never give up your dream if you believe in it, because right now we wouldn't be where we are if we didn't believe in it, and if we gave up all the time. And Jeff, you should also tell your side about that, because I think it's pretty interesting that, and it's cool that Brian believed in us without knowing about the platform. That's like my point, that there's some people that are going to support you and there's some people that are always going to question you. But as we get more and more into the product, as we're developing it more and more, we're learning more, and we're trying to produce a better product for everybody.
Well, Jeff, before you say something, this is, Chanel always, and for you guys, always show them what they said couldn't be done. You're about to show those people who didn't believe, didn't get it, didn't understand how it's going to be done, and it's going to work. And the reason I can say that is because before I went to Franklin, Tennessee, I took the show out, tested it. Flew two of my co-hosts to Franklin, Tennessee. We're part of the Elvis Presley brand. My co-host is married into the family. There's only two of them left. St. Jude's Hospital, my favorite charity. Doctors Without Borders, Robin Williams turned me on to that. I would love to see what Robin and George Carlin would have been doing these days. I think about them daily because they were the nicest people to me. And you guys can relate to this. I made Robin Williams cry. Have you ever seen Robin cry? I made him cry at a junket because I asked him, Robin, what's your favorite charity? I know you go to Afghanistan. You were going to, Iraq to perform for the soldiers. And he got teary because I guess no one had ever asked him. And then I always say this, the day Robin Williams died, that's the day he made me cry.
Wow, that is powerful. Now I'm going to cry.
That was on his charity. Charities are very, very important. Jeff, I didn't want to take your time. Go ahead. You got about 9 minutes left. Go.
No worries at all. So as far as what Chanel had brought up about people telling me no and all that stuff, here's the thing about it. A lot of people said no, or they weren't sure, or didn't reply, or whatever the case. But my motto and my attitude always, and this has been the way I've always been for a long time, and it's really just boils down to this. The answer is always no if you don't ask. And if you ask a lot of people that you want to do something with, chances are there's going to be a small percentage of them at first that are going to say yes, or the ones that are really supportive are going to say yes, or the ones that are just very close to you that are going to say yes. And if you work hard enough, eventually, in the first place, because they're going to want to hop on the bandwagon.
Yep. Eventually.
And if they don't, then it's their loss, and there will be other people. There's always, and this is just the way that I think about it, there is always plenty of fish in the sea, and it's really just a question of who wants to rock with you. If they don't, no problem. If they want to at a later date, that's cool too. But to be down about something because somebody doesn't want to do it, or they're not in the mood or whatever, like, I don't care about any of that stuff. Like, to me, it just means they're either not in the mood, they don't think it's, the right platform for them, but that could change. So when you think about it that way, you could do anything. I mean, if you wanted to run up a mountain, you think it's going to be easy on the first shot? No. But I guarantee you by the 100th time.
Jeff is the Jewish Jesus.
I guarantee you by the 100th time,
Jew Buddha,
mountain, you'll be a lot farther, be able to get a lot farther than you did when you started.
What he's saying is truth. I have this movie Subway. It's been 16 years in the make, and people said no for 16 years. We couldn't even get financing for it. Then I turned over to Jeff. I said, "You're going to produce your first movie with me?" He was like, "Oh. And then, and then he just wasn't a thought ever in his mind. So you get the grumbling. And then I convinced him to do it. And then him and I went off down the road running. And all of a sudden we accumulated, about $20 million and a ton of celebrity and A-list interest and directors and this and that. And now the whole thing is going. And this is, the airplane of 2021, 2022, over the top, crazy, beautiful, politically incorrect humor with an amazing redemption and love story tied into it. But it's Airplane on the New York City subway. And Jeff and we've been together for over 20 something years, working partners, best friends, the whole thing. I turned to him exactly like he was saying, after running out to the world to try and get it done outside of my own personal network. I turned to Jeff after all those years, 17 years, 16 years. I'm like, "Bro, do you think we could do this?" He's like, "Yeah, we could definitely do this." And lo and behold, we're doing this. And it's a big deal.
And I also want to say that I think it's important. I'm not going to say like men and women, because a lot of times we progressed as women, but definitely the men on behind FanRoom Live. I think all of you are incredible human beings, because Jeff also does that with me with my podcast. It doesn't matter whether it's FanRoom Live or an interest. I think it's important you have people in your corner that say yes, that tell you can do it, that tell you not to give up. Because same thing with me, like Jay's movie, I've been an actor, actress, a comedian. Jay knows I've been shut down, not booked on places or shows for political reasons, or just not getting my podcast sold on a network like most influencers have. And I don't think you could say why not me and why them, because I think it's like what Jeff and Jay are saying. It's the hard work you really have to put into things and just keep on going, even if there's a no. It's not, and Jeff, I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I just think it's important that people get that, because I have to still get it. As experienced as I am, I'm still always unsure. Am I going to make it? Am I not? I'm sure, Jay, you go through the same thing. And FanRoom Live actually has given me hope that there is a future and there is hope for all of us artists, whether we're up and coming or we're A-listers or we're established. That's the platform, which is FanRoom Live. That's what makes me feel like there's hope,
I'll give you social media links while you're at it.
Oh, okay. You could follow me at Chanel Omari, at Chanel at Chanel in the City, and of course at FanRoom Live. We have all our updates on all the events and all the celebrities that are coming up that you can buy your tickets, fanroomlive.com. Make sure you check it out.
You can follow me at Mr. J Benjamin, because somebody took my name, J Benjamin. So there's a Mr. in front of it. So at Mr. Jae Benjamin. Instagram, Twitter, I do have my name, J Benjamin, but Twitter, Instagram. Jeff?
For mine, for Instagram, it's at IE Group NYC. And of course, at FanRoom Live on Instagram. For Twitter, it's just at Jeff Krauss. And for FanRoom on Twitter, it's just at FanRoom Live.
Oh, and we want to also give Brian a big shout out. I just want to say before we wrap up, Cedric the Entertainer, out of all the celebrities I've ever interviewed or worked with, and Jeff and Jay, you can attest to this, I've never met someone so humble and honest and supportive and a mentor, really, and someone who educates and really gives people the opportunity to shine with whatever they want to do. And I think we have to learn from someone like him in the industry to be someone more like that. You know what I mean? Because he's the real deal. So shout out to Cedric. We love you. Thank you for this opportunity as well.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Ced, we love you. And yeah, Cedric is,
it's an honor to work with somebody who's
one of a kind human being.
Yeah, it's an honor. It is. You're right.
This is what it is.
We're very blessed because a lot of people.
He heightens our game. He makes us better and sets an example, and sets a bar where you walk away and you go, I see how he did that and how he threaded the needle, and I get that. And I understand the genius of what's going on here, and it rubs off on you. And then again, it heightens all of our games. It makes every one of us better at whatever it is we're all doing.
Well, if you really think about it, he is one of the few comedian actors and person of color who was crossed over and done everything. when you
Oh yeah.
thinking about
Oh,
it,
yeah.
he was that first one. It wasn't Bernie, it wasn't DL, it was Cedric. And he kept his level head the entire time.
Yep.
And that's one of the things I really like about him. And again, you know, not only is he stylish, I even like his son. His son is pretty cool. He goes,
Yeah.
"Ryan, can you interview my son?" I'm like, sure. He's part of your family. Why not? You know,
His whole family is great.
I never
Everybody.
got that.
And he never thinks he's better. Like he came on my podcast. He never thinks he's better than anyone. You know, he's always down to give an artist a chance or, you know, second platform. And he did mention what you said on the podcast and on FanRoom Live. He talks about all the time how he can always learn something from someone, and a true artist or teacher always learns something from other people. You know, you should never think you're better than, I think is the message.
So with that, I'm going to end with this. I want to thank you, Chanel. Not only are you gorgeous, I love this stuff. I'm going to chime in. I'm going to see, I don't just follow anybody, but I have to follow you guys now because of what you guys are doing. And then when I have you guys on a Tuesday night show sometime in March, because I'm booked ahead of time, I'm going to clear the schedule for you guys. You're going to meet some of my other co-hosts, all women, because I want them to know what's going on and watch and see how we spread it on the movie review and more side of things. And I'm going to leave everybody with this. If you see someone without a smile, please give them one of yours because the world needs it. Chanel, Jeff, Jay, thank you so much for being on Movie Reviews and More, and we will see you next week.